Okay, so today we're going to talk about the 10 things that a new player absolutely has to get from the classic set. By the end of this, you're going to know how to be really useful in high level games, how to function effectively in low level games, just a very well rounded, evergreen skill set that will apply to any point in the game because we're not going to cover any event based things. We're going to stick purely to the classic set. All right, guys, if you really like what we're doing here on the channel, please help us out, support the channel, and use our creator code. It really goes a long way to helping us to continue to do what we do. Thank you so much, guys. It means the world. Okay, so let's get right into it. So now there's a few different things that you have to think about as a new player. Do you want to focus on soloing, or do you want to focus on team play? And specifically, do you want to focus on being relevant in high level games? Because if you have a lot of really high level friends, there's a very specific way that you need to build your character to be able to function effectively in high level zones. So we're going to go and cover that first, because I think this is probably the most important and most relevant thing for a low level player to wrap their brain around. Because if you want to be extremely valuable to your team, even if your team is, way higher level than you, then there's a very simple, easy trick that you need to do. Now, as you're going through the game, you're going to be earning legendary flux in the weekly event store every single week. This guide will show you how to use that flux to unlock the most game-changing characters for you, the things that will allow you to solo the craziest stuff, but more importantly, how to contribute to crazy endgame strategies. So the number one thing that you need to get to be relevant in high-level gameplay is a constructor. And not just a constructor, but 3 different constructors. The most important of these 3 constructors is going to be base Kyle. So base Kyle is going to give you an 84% building health bonus. Now in a high level game, this is huge. This is so impactful to a game. Having buildings with enormous amounts of health is a game-winning tactic. It's huge. Not to mention, your base itself is going to actually give you 60 extra armor on your structures. So your buildings are going to take less damage when they get hit, and your walls are going to have way more health to survive those hits. So this here is of all the characters in the game as a brand new player, if you want to play with high level friends, this is the number one guy that you should be looking to get your hands on. Just an absolute juggernaut of defense. Now, the second one, and in a lot of ways, just as important, like base Kyle is the best by a small margin, but this guy here, the next guy that we're going to be talking about, is power base Nox. Power base Nox is absolutely incredible. What he does is give you power modulation. Structures affected by base are healed for 11% of your max health every 10 seconds. This, just like base Kyle, makes your structures so insanely hard to destroy. This is even more noticeable when you're playing matches like Exploding Deathburst, where a lot of your building pieces are getting hit. And you don't have time to look at every single piece all around the place and repair the structures, that are getting hit all over the entire base. This guy here will heal everything automatically. The more health that your structures have, the more impactful that 11% heal is going to end up being. So this guy is super important. Now, a thing to know is that they're not independently important. The combination of base Kyle and power base Nox is so insane. One of them raises the hit points, the other heals based on the amount of hit points that your buildings have. So the bigger the base Kyle is, the bigger the power base heal is. So they work in conjunctions fantastically. If you have base Kyle in your commander and Nox in your support slot, then you're going to have huge walls that have 4% life regeneration every 10 seconds, which is significant. If you have power base in your commander slot and base Kyle in your support slot, then you're going to have 11% of the max health healing your base, while base Kyle is going to be giving you 28% bonus to your building health. So either way, whichever you decide to go, if you want to go with more repair or if you want to go with more total health, the combination of these two characters will absolutely win games, even if you are in a max level mission. Power level 140, this can literally win you a game, having this combination of these two characters on your team. They are just incredible. If you are going to do anything with your flux and your training manuals, let these two characters be the ones that you do if you intend to play with really high level friends, because they will love you. The impact you will have on the match is so profound. I cannot express how big a deal it is with these two characters. Now, you can go a step further. You can actually go and get Mr. Megabase here. So Megabase, this guy is designed to be in your support slot. In a support slot, he gives you a +1 base connectivity range so that your base covers a little bit more, healing a little bit more, armoring a little bit more. But it's even more than that. If you research Megabase Kyle out of the collections book, you come with a package deal. He is one of the many mythics in this game that actually comes with his own team perk, and this is it right here. The team perk is Supercharged Traps. For each constructor in your support team, the damage of your traps affected, within your base area is increased by 8.5%. So 8.5% times potentially 5 constructors. 5 constructors in your support team. You have 5 constructors, you get 8.5% times 5 damage. That's how much the percentage of damage you get added to your traps. So you can have all your high level friends rocking all their, say, 130 traps, just crazy superpowered traps, and you can amplify the power of those traps by an insane amount. Like, just crazy. I believe it is 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 5 is 25. So it's 40, 65. 65% more damage added to the traps of all your friends, all the traps that are connected to your base. So Supercharged Traps is just the most game-breaking team perk ever made. This thing can win games by itself. I can't tell you how many times I've taken these three guys and just won games solo in insanely high-level matches, just because the synergy of having a super healthy base that repairs itself and just murders the living face off of everything. It's a game winner, man. It's a game winner. You can solo missions like crazy, and if you go into a high level mission, all of these bonuses work just as well in a high level mission as they would in your own solo mission. So it's just a winner, man. This is a game winning strategy. If you actually have a friend that does the same thing as you both have power base, you both have base, and you both have mega base, you can actually combine those together. The game allows you to have one commander perk and one support perk. They do not stack. You cannot have 2 commander perks that give you the same thing. So you can't have, 2 base cows. You can't have 84% building health plus 84% building health. That doesn't work. However, you can have 84% building health plus 28% building health. You can have one commander perk and one standard perk affecting your base. Now, you obviously can't do that by yourself because you can't take a commander and a standard on one loadout. If you use base Kyle as a commander, you can't use him as a standard, but your friend can. If you're taking Mr. Commander base Kyle here, and you have power base in your standard perk, but your friend took power base as his commander and base as his standard perk, you get all 4 of those buffs all in one, making it basically, it feels like cheating. Honestly, it's so powerful. It's just, it'll blow your mind. And the mega base in the support slot will make it so that your base covers the largest amount of area possible. So absolutely, it's a breathtaking damage. It's so amazing. It'll change your life. So these 3 characters, these are the 3 top things that you need to do as a new player if you want to play in high level games with your high level friends. It'll just change your whole experience. Now, for solo characters, now we're talking about a whole, something completely different. As a solo player, the only thing that you really need is Survivalist Jonesy. Survivalist Jonesy is the hardest to kill character in the entire game. Every time you murder something, you are going to start healing yourself over 3 seconds. And every second you heal, I want to say, about 10% of your hit points. It is crazy. If you have him in the commander as a commander perk, the healing is so insane you just can't die. Like it's as long as you just keep shooting and killing, it's almost hard to get yourself killed. He's so powerful. It's wild, man. This one's gonna just change your whole world in terms of survivability and the ability to solo crazy things that would normally get you killed. This guy can just weather the storm and just keep on smashing through. So just a profoundly powerful character. And he, of course, is also a classic set hero. So these 4 heroes are just the most game-breaking, heroes as a new player, coming into the game. If you get your hands on these ones, you don't need to use anything else ever again. You're going to want to eventually, just for diversity's sake and for fun, but to get the essentials of what you need as a new player, these are the first 4 things that you want to work on. Now, after that, you're going to need one really, really good weapon. And I think probably the best weapon in the classic set has got to be the Terminator. The Terminator is just a devastating weapon with a massive amount of ammo. This is a fully god roll Terminator. This is what the best that you can look at if you're running with Bright Core. This is what it looks like. 12 shots, 12 fire rate, just blazingly fast fire rate. 175 magazine size, just a profound, the highest amount of bullets you can have in a clip. Right in line with all the other top tier LMGs. 4,000 range, making it an excellent mid-range weapon. You got some pretty good range on it. The damage is solid. You got a 38% chance to crit, so you're going to crit over 1/3 of your shots. 185% critical hit damage is solid. This gun's going to have, what you want to do is have affliction or snare on it, so that you get the damage to afflicted or damage to snared targets. That gives you an extra 45% damage bonus once it's god rolled. Of course, you're not going to have this god rolled for a long time, but the structure is there. This gun is always amazing. The amount of damage it does, the sustained damage, because it just keeps shooting and shooting and shooting, you're going to eat up a lot of ammo. I'm going to warn you right now. You're going to spend a lot of time smashing cars to get nuts and bolts, but it is well worth it. This is one of the most feel-good weapons of the game. Once you have it god rolled, it'll just change your life. This gun becomes even stronger if you're able to get some special event heroes, namely Crackshot from the Winter event, and Bulletstorm Jonesy, who is now part of the expansion set, meaning you can actually research him out of the collections book. If you go to the collections book, you go down to expansion people, and there he is right off the bat. Bulletstorm Jonesy. Cyberpunk hero. This guy right here gives you incredible ramping damage. So the more you shoot, the more damage you do. Every single bullet you fire adds 1% damage to your attack, all the way up till 25 stacks, which is a 25% damage bonus. Incredible hero. So, you know, the Terminator has some really, really good synergy and will carry you through forever. Even now, I'm using it as my main weapon because I've created the perfect build around that gun, and it just destroys everything. So that is definitely number 5 on the list. Now, the next 5 things that you need to focus on as a new player is traps. 100% traps. And the most important 5 traps that you can use that will change your life. You will destroy every single mission you ever play, every storm shield, everything. As long as you get a basic rudimentary understanding of how to build trap tunnels, timeout chambers, these 5 traps will carry you to victory every single time. These are more important than any weapon in the game. You only need 1 weapon, but you need 5 traps, and these things will last you forever. So, number 1, the gas trap. It is the most powerful trap in the entire game. It goes right through shields and kills little shielders. This is the ultimate build right here. Is damage, reload, crit rate, crit damage, and effect duration. This build will absolutely destroy pretty much all the content in the entire game. This thing is your ultimate offensive trap. It is extremely expensive, costing bacon, powder, fibrous herbs, and nuts and bolts. So it's a very expensive trap, but it is also the most powerful trap in the entire game. Number 1. Number 2 is your knockback trap. The knockback trap is just incredible. This thing does, twofold. One, it just basically, it makes your walls so hard to kill. Anything that walks up to your walls is going to get knocked away, and it's going to buy your building, your wall time for you to repair it. It's going to, buy you time to not get hit additionally. It is just a wall enhancing mechanism. Not only that, but it can also knock enemies back into trap tunnels, getting them hit by your traps all over again. So just incredible. The ultimate build for this one is double reload, triple impact. You can either choose to put increased building health or increased auto repair. You could actually have auto repair instead of building health, depending on how you want to go with it. Whether you think your walls are going to get burst out or not. If you don't think your walls are going to get killed by like a propane hit or a smasher hit, then I would probably go with the auto repair, because the auto repair is absolutely incredible, especially if you're using metal walls, which have a lot of hit points, and the higher the hit points, the higher the auto repair is. So that is your number 2, super trap. Number 3 is going to be your wooden floor spikes. This is a staple element to your build. The wooden floor spikes I run with damage, crit rate, crit damage, and durability. This is a incredible trap that slows all the enemies down and does a little bit of damage to anybody who walks on it, quite often killing a lot of the little tiny husks, the really fast baby husks that jump in there. Wooden floor spikes will do enough damage to actually do some pretty critical damage on them. So very, very cool. It's not a huge damage trap. It's just there to bully the lightweight enemies and slow all of the enemies down, giving your gas traps and your wall launchers more time to destroy everything. So incredible tool. Now, the next one is the broadside trap. The broadside trap it's nuts, man. It's one of the newest traps to come into the game with the pirate event. This I run with damage reload, crit rate, crit damage, the same as the gas traps. You can put building health on it again if you want to survive those propane hits, or if you think you're not going to have any problem with propane damage, you can put auto repair, and that will do a huge amount of healing over time. Just incredible. So it's up to you which way you want to go. You got these 4 traps. They're going to completely change your gameplay. They're going to allow you to solo any content, literally any content, with ease. You can make you basically choose how hard or how easy a mission is going to be based on how many of these traps you use in conjunction with your defense. So that is the 10 things that you need to think about when you're a new player. Is base cal, power base, mega base. Those are your constructors. You have survivalist Jonesy and bulletstorm Jonesy. Those are your classic and expansion set characters. And then you have your 4 traps: gas trap, knockback, wooden floor spikes, and broadsides. The combination of these 10 things, if you can get your hands on them, which is not too hard if you focus on just these things, week in and week out, you can get them without too much trouble, and then work on slowly leveling them up and evolving them into higher rarity versions so that you can really utilize the totality of their abilities. So anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoy this video. I get a lot of questions about, Vash, do you have any tips for a new player? And I never really made a good compilation video of, what really matters, especially if you want to come and play with me, right? I got a lot of new players that want to come and play in my games, and they feel really self-conscious about not being able to contribute and not, just being dead weight. And a lot of them wait to play with me, and I don't want that. I want you guys to all come and play with me every day. We're streaming on the Twitch channel over 18 hours a day, no days off ever. We do an 81-hour marathon every single weekend with the help of my wife. And we would love for you to join us. I would love to play games with you. And yeah, thank you so much for being a part of the VASH Corps, guys. Thank you for supporting us on Twitch and on YouTube and helping us grow and being a part of this journey with us. It means the world to me. We couldn't do this without you guys. So thank you so much. Remember to ring the, like and subscribe, ring that little bell, leave a thumbs up, and comment down below and let me know if this helps you out. And let me know if there's anything you think that I forgot that a new player really needs to think about when they're, focusing, trying to figure out what to focus on getting into the game. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.